Welcome to the State of Blockchain Africa. This is a weekly podcast that aims to blend discussions on blockchain technology and its application on businesses and the digital economy. The focus is to help you better navigate the weird and wonderful world of Web3, NFTs, metaverse, and cryptocurrencies through conversations with some of the smartest minds that are creating the future. I will be your host, Linda I.A. Obi. Welcome on board.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Linda, and I'll be your host today. This is the State of Blockchain Africa. And with me on the show today is my sister, my friend, my colleague in the ecosystem, someone I really respect so much, and hold a lot of admiration for. Her name is Mrs. Modupe Ativi. She is the African lead for GBWA, and today we will be slicing through how can blockchain empower and enrich women lives in 2023. Modipe, how you doing? And welcome to the show.
My sister, it's always good to be with you, on a call or in a conversation anytime, any day. Thanks for the invite.
Okay. The network is shaky as usual. Typical Nigerian network. But we're going to try to walk through questions today. Can you hear me?
Very clearly. Very clearly.
Great. Okay. But I hope this whole unrest, this Naira thing is not, the protest is not too much in Port Harcourt, because in Lagos we see a lot of protests, pockets of riots everywhere. And it's in reaction to the whole Naira scarcity. I hope, that you are staying safe at Port Harcourt.
Oh yeah, well, thing is, we haven't had too much, but today there was some unrest around, actually not far from my office. There was, and our security,
Wow.
our security personnel had to lock us into the building, park your cars inside and not outside. So yes, it's been yeah, I understand the pain that is going out there. People, just trying to make a living, just trying to lead a normal life, and wondering why there's so many barriers and limitations. So yeah, but I'm staying safe, taking all the necessary precautions, and we're just praying for a better Nigeria.
Great. Let's just jump right to it. Can blockchain really, empower and enrich the lives of women in 2023? I know how we continue to try to stretch the narrative of blockchain, blockchain for this, blockchain for that, blockchain and enabler to all of this. But, when it comes to real life application to the lives of women, right? And by women, I feel like, the underserved. What can blockchain really do? What are the potentials of impact with blockchain for these women?
There's so much it can do. Just walking down the road, and maybe you're even trying to buy something like corn from a lady who roasts corn. I look at that situation where right now I cannot, I might not be able to have 200 naira to give to her for one corn, but I can transfer 200 naira from my account to her account. But guess what? Because she doesn't have proper documentation, she's unbanked. She may not have a bank account. So how do I transfer this money to her? The Central Bank of Nigeria had an original and an amazing idea with the CBDC, but the e-Naira was not properly rolled out. And if you ask me, if it was properly rolled out, this woman on her, this phone we call Palasa in Nigeria, she could have been onboarded on a CBDC platform. From my phone, I could have transferred 200 e-Naira to her. She would collect that simple SMS coming in on her phone, and it's blockchain powered. And the money is now hers. And anywhere she goes, she can transact like that. Now, with the deeper banking apps, it's difficult because this woman is unbanked. But even a simple use case like that, then let's even go into tokenization. So tokenization could help women begin to inherit property, begin to really properly position them to benefit from wills. So somebody's husband dies, God forbid, but then, or the children, and because they're female, they can't inherit. Somebody's brother comes and collects everything, even when there's a paper will, even when there is a legal document saying these people are supposed to inherit this. But tokenization and digitization of assets can make it easier for these people to continue to lead a normal life, even with the demise of a spouse or a father. There are just so many use cases we can keep thinking about. There's so many things out there. I'm actually involved in a project right now where we're trying to onboard unbanked women as well on a platform that teaches them about financial intelligence. It's blockchain powered as well. And it's also supposed to help them build their finances and begin to earn digital currency and just get that basic understanding of how it works. There's so many things, my dear, so many ways it can be helping us at the moment.
I agree, man. It's crazy, right? With this whole, I really agree with you that, the rollout was not, properly thought through. And, it has caused a lot of chaos, especially with, ladies, I've been to markets and I want to transact. I don't have cash. Oh, yeah, no, madam, I've finished buying. Share if you transfer. You hear, I don't have a bank account. And I'm like, you don't have a bank account in 2023. And the case is the same for all of them. You would think that, oh, maybe there's this fear of, transfers. But in actual sense, they don't have bank accounts. And I think it's a problem that we really need to lean in as, stakeholder players and see what gives. Per you, right? Just away from the dailies a bit. Per you, what are the trends in blockchain you see in 2023? I know that for 2022, we saw a lot of NFT push, metaverse push, and all of that. As much as I feel like a lot of these technologies would iterate in 2023 and a lot of them will reach maturation. As for you, what are the trends that you see, for 2023 in blockchain?
Okay, so right now, 2023 is a continuation of the bear market. So, and I've always said that the bear market is the builder's market. So I'm seeing a lot of enterprise applications, enterprise blockchain. I'm seeing solutions being built on the blockchain. I'm seeing companies adopting it for transparency. I'm seeing countries adopting blockchain and using it in different aspects of their, their daily life, their daily businesses. So I'm seeing more enterprise use of the technology. Now, the DeFi systems still remain. We still have not too many countries that have adopted it fully, but the decentralization still makes it work across board, right? So, but the major trend I see is enterprise use. Companies, organizations getting up, consortium blockchains, building, and people are building solutions.
Yeah, I work in blockchain. I work for a proper blockchain company. And one thing that, keeps coming would be, what are the trends for 2023? And believe you me, you just hit the nail on the head. A lot of enterprise blockchain solutions are going to be scaled out in 2023 as the, technology continues to reach maturation. I see that. I also see, if I'm to lean in, an answer also would be that, we see a lot of metaverse real life use cases, right? We had a taste of what it looks like in 2023. We had a taste of what it could be. Digital fashion is going exponential, right? The market size is insane. I do think that we are going to see a lot of metaverse-ish projects that would make a lot of sense also in 2023. Like I said, I'm always very intrigued by you, and from afar, I'm like, at TV. What is your little story? How did you get into blockchain proper? Keen to hear.
Okay, so I think my story was a very accidental one. So my husband came home one day and said, I just heard about Bitcoin and people are saying you can make money. And this was sometime sort of middle 2018. And he was like, okay, let's take $1,000. I said, $1,000 for what? When we don't even know what it is. That let me try. I'm going to do something smaller. Okay, if you want to take your own 1,000. Me, I'm not doing 1,000. So I took $200 and then I invested it. I bought Bitcoin. And that was the beginning of the bull market. So it was really doing well. I would look at the next day and it has increased, and I'm like, what is going on here? You know? So I was encouraged to increase my investment. And it was just, I'm like, oh, is this how easy it is? But then, I'm a lifelong learner, and I'm someone who has been involved in learning and development for the greater part of my life. Like 14 years, I've been in learning and development. So I thought, okay, I need to know more about this. Till today, honestly, my husband is just crypto. But I went beyond that, to find out, what does this actually mean? What is this technology that is powering these currencies? And I went the extra mile to study, to understand more and to learn more. And by 2020, I would sleep and wake up blockchain. That's the truth. I can sleep and wake up. I just started, I started studying so much. I'll look at people. I'll link up with people on LinkedIn I just needed to see blockchain on your profile. I will connect with you and try and see what you're doing. What are you doing in the space? And then I started having lots of international relationships, meetings, projects, building projects, different things just started happening. And I'm like, wow, the world is really a global village, So the world of Web3 has taken over. The Web2 internet is still existing, but the world of Web3 is coming to take over very fast. And really, I'm just so deeply immersed in it. I don't know if you've heard this term, the rabbit hole. Like people say, oh, just this is one rabbit hole. It's like, look, I'm way down deep in the rabbit hole, not coming out anytime. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Interesting. I mean, I share a similar. I think we all share something similar when it comes to telling our stories around how we journeyed into crypto and blockchain. It's accidental. Nobody really, for me, it was, I mean, I've always been a blockchain person, especially when I was working my role in agriculture. And I was, seeking effective ways to, drive business. And I stumbled on smart contract. And everybody, I've never really seen anybody who said I intentionally walked into crypto. We all stumbled on it. The next question would have been, how do we include more women, more underserved women? But I'm going to, tweak that question a bit. No, I have spoken with my friends, learned beings, like who you would think understands what's up and all of that. And the question would be, but babe, why are you not investing in crypto? Why are you not that diversifying your investments? What's happening there? And you hear them say, hey, I don't understand it. I cannot put my money where I can't feel it or touch it. Now, bringing it back to women who even do not have bank accounts, and we tend to classify them as, underserved women. How do we include more women in blockchain? Especially on the quote that says, empower a woman, you empower a nation. If we are saying that blockchain potentially has the ability to impact on women financially, how do we, educate the learned ones even that have bank accounts that are reluctant to, foray into crypto on the one hand? On the second hand, how do we reach out to, and include more underserved women to that blockchain literacy that could impact them, financially?
Okay, so to answer this question, let me start with the learned women. So with the learned women, if you follow the story of the history of money, I don't want to go all the way back to cowries and all that, but let's even talk about the introduction of paper money. Now, because I also studied blockchain and digital currencies with the University of Nicosia. So the course on the history of money was an eye opener for me. So really, when paper money was first introduced, when people were used to trade by barter and paper money was first introduced, the entire world, especially the learned people, frowned at it. They were like, what do you mean? Okay, so we have the picture of our president on a piece of paper, and you are now telling me this is money. Now, what am I trying to say? Change is always difficult. People fight change. But when we get to a place where we can no longer transact without it, then adoption becomes easy. When people become more aware. Same thing with the inclusion of plastic money, which is our cards. Till tomorrow, there are still some of our parents who are not comfortable with cards. They want that cash that they can see, right? So, but there are some of us right now that I don't even carry cash. It's my card or transfer. And that is how we trade these days. So our children are going to come into a world where, hey, mommy, why don't you have digital money?
Yes.
Do you understand? So as time goes on, people will catch up. That's what I have found out. The earlier the better, because the earlier you catch it, the easier is it for you to transition into that level and begin to enjoy the benefits of being in that level. But if you don't catch up with it, if you don't get it early, you will still get it late. It will still come and meet you. It's either you join in early or you join in late. Then, but for the unbanked women, my own what I would say about that is, let's build more use cases that speak to their needs. And that's what people are doing these days. I was speaking with someone because we're working on some, payments is a problem right now in Nigeria. So like I said, the repair market is the builders market, and there are lots of people building right now. So there's some projects I'm also working on, and we'll be doing some surveys. So speaking to people who use, let's speak. There's some people, I don't want to mention names because obviously it's a public show right now. But there's some
Yeah.
brands. There's some brands who have just their POS systems. They are so fast. They are so quick in respond so much better and faster than the POS systems or of our traditional banks. Why? Because the traditional banks are still running on an older technology, right? And these ones are working faster. So these people were able to sit down and see, how can I improve this situation? And then they introduced something that was an improvement. And now those systems work faster. So I think for unbanked women, that's what we do as well. We build more use cases that speak to their needs. What is the major need they have right now? They need to be able to access finance. Some of them trade every day. Some of them make money every day. And they need to either save this money or use this money every day. How do we meet their needs? Look, if you deliver value, they will listen to you. If you deliver value, they will jump on the system no matter what it is. Just as
I
the
agree.
same way that these women, a lot of them, because of their trade, are learning now how to, they're learning now how to use some systems that were previously complex for them. If you can build a use case that delivers value, they will learn. They will sit down and learn. That's what I think.
I mean, I absolutely agree with that. I want to see that day, right? Where I can walk down the street and buy tomatoes and just do something. I don't know, something from my card, something, I beg, just something, and then she gets her money. I really, really, really look forward to that day. Hello, Francisca. How are you? Network is dealing with you. Can you hear me? I'm not sure she can hear me. Okay, let's move on.
No, I don't think so.
There's a third part, there's a third layer to this question. Now we are ladies in tech. We like to call ourselves techies and the likes. Now we're privileged to be in tech. It shouldn't be a privilege because we are coming in to add value, a whole lot of value. And you still find that, among the big tech companies, the big fives, if you look at the gender disparity, um, ratio, women versus men working in tech, you find that there's still that imbalance, right? How do we begin to close that gap and include more women in technology-driven roles, and in this case, to be Web3 facing roles? How do we? I mean, I'm a huge proponent of the blockchain, and I tend to lean in anytime I find it, an opportunity to do so. And I try to encourage women to come in. If Nina can do it, if Moduba can do it, if Francisca can do it, they can also do it. But talk is cheap, right? Without action. What are the actions or action areas that we can, leverage to include more women in blockchain?
Okay, the first thing I would say is awareness. Something like what you're doing now, Linda, something like this show, this program, going out there and women hearing and listening and seeing other women in the field, seeing how well they are doing, seeing how the opportunities available to them. Linda, me and you can't do everything. There are opportunities that we'll be turning down because we can't do everything. You understand? So we need more of them to come to, and that's what I tell people. So wherever I go, wherever I have to speak to women, I always start with um a motivational session to let them know that, see, come, for in GBWA, we have like a mantra that says that it is belief and not ability that makes women think that tech is not for them. So it's more a situation of like, why do I stress myself? Why do I go the extra mile? I'm already burdened with all the other women matters. But guess what? We are versatile. There's a lot that we can do. We can handle the tech. We can handle blockchain. We can handle crypto. We can handle family. We can handle children. We can put it all together and make it work. And I know we can, because there are lots of us that are doing it already. So I think what we need to do is just let them know that they can do it. If we can, you can do it too. That's my message, really. You can do it too. That's what I tell them. You can do it too. And, just get involved. And some people think, oh, I don't know how to code. I do not program. I was like, I don't code either. I'm not a programmer either. But guess what? I'm deeply, deeply involved. I understand. And I've taken time to study and, to familiarize myself with concepts. So I like, there's a proper flow for me, and it can be there for you. So I started one day. So you too can start today. There's a very popular saying that say the best time, it's people also say it for crypto, like the best time to get involved was 4 years ago, but the next best time is now, so just get in and, don't delay anymore. So this is my message to people. You can do it too. Get involved. If we keep looking at all the situations around us that limit us, we will never do anything.
I agree 100%. I see a lot of ladies come to me and say, I like what you're doing, my mentor, that. I want to get into tech, but I don't code. Come on, Mal. Right? You really don't need any kind of coding experience. There are a lot of verticals that you could scale in blockchain or Web3, but really does not require any kind of coding. But I think that the confusing part would be, and this would be my final question, the confusing part would be the starting point, right? A lot of them are confused as to where do I really start, right? Now, as a woman in tech who has, done a lot of significant, magnificent, beautiful things in work in tech, how do you think they should probably start? Where should they start from, right? I tell people, okay, look at the stack, and this is what my advice. Look at the stacks in blockchain. You have content writers, you have community managers, you have all of those people. They are non-coding roles, right? Start by looking at what really tickles your fancy, right? If you are somebody who knows how to write properly, take a Web3 content writing job and start from there, right? And start to gain experience and insights into other areas. If you're into engagement and all of that, start as a community manager and start to, gain insights into other stacks of blockchain. This is the starting point. For you, how do you think they should start? What should be that starting point for them?
Okay, so I always tell people where I started. So I heard blockchain and I thought, okay, just like you said, you should know yourself and know the kind of person that you are. You can start as simple as
yes.
Put the term in there. Ask Google. Google is your friend. What is blockchain? Start from there. What can I do? Now, I am an audio-visual learner. So YouTube was a study hall for me, a study room for me. And I went in there and I got so much relevant content, things I could relate to. Like I said, I'm audio-visual, so I like to see and hear at the same time. And that's how I learned there. So I looked at it and there were so many concepts I could pick up. I found people whom I connected with on LinkedIn. I saw people's work and watched videos of what is actually happening in the space. And just like you said, another thing I tell people is whatever skills you already have in Web 2, you can transfer to Web 3. What am I doing right now? I'm in learning and development. learning and development training is what I have done for the past 14 years majorly. So, and that's one of the reasons why blockchain education is my strong point, because I transfer the skills I had in Web 2 to Web 3. Many of my close friends are doing the same thing. So there's a lady who has been a friend of mine as well, who's been a chartered accountant for like 12 years. Guess what? In blockchain, she's a DeFi expert because she carried her experience from trade finance into the space. So whatever it is you do, you were just talking about content. If you even think you don't have any special skills, you could just look at, can I write? Am I a good writer? Am I good with people? Like you now, Linda, you're beautiful with people, relationships, you know how to relate with people. Well, it's not like us that we are quite quiet and we don't talk to people. But, people like people who have your skills, and if you can handle groups, you can speak to many people at once. Maybe you should go into community management. Just learn what the professional skills are that should accompany that role. And you can find everything online. If you want structured education, then you find a structured learning system where you can learn from. But these things are everywhere. Look, I like to tell people that some statistics I found last year. India will have 800,000 remote jobs by 2030. Dubai will have 42,000 remote jobs by 2030. Remote, which means you can be anywhere in the world and do them. And they are all Web3 jobs. So what skills should I be building right now? Web3 skills, right? So that I can be in Nigeria and maybe even have a physical job or physical role I'm doing here. But then I have a part-time job I hook up with online for 3 hours a day or 2 hours a day, and I still earn from there. Or I'm fully online. My role is fully remote. And with fractionalization, that, which is one of our Web3 concepts. Maybe you even have a fractionalization or your job is fractionalized. I'm working 2 hours here, 3 hours is remote, right? Just let's do us and earn. So it's possible. I see this space as full of unlimited possibilities. I'm an advocate of somebody. I'm an advocate of not using blockchain if it doesn't need blockchain. Don't let's overkill. So if a situation doesn't need blockchain, they don't use it. But then there are so many opportunities and possibilities within the sector. It's just amazing. So just get in now.
Powerful, really powerful. I mean, and this goes to the ladies that have, put these questions forward. Modipa is saying, apply your skills from Web 2 into Web 3. You can transition like that. She's also saying, ask Google. Google is your friend, right? I don't think there's anything you want to skill out or learn that is not on Google. I do think that it's an excuse where you say, where do I start from? Because you can pretty much start from where you are, from your phone. Ask Google. Put in the term blockchain. You understand yourself. You know what you're passionate at. You know what you gravitate towards, right? And I think you can always find something that, fits your skills in Web3. And that's the beauty of the space. Thank you so much, Modipe, for joining this cast today. Before I leave, I'm going to ask you one question. I asked somebody on the show. I'm sorry. But where do you see Bitcoin? Where do you see Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin at the end of quarter one? And we're almost at quarter one. At the end of quarter one, it's going to be March. But Bitcoin is currently at 25K from 16K in December. I hear people say it's not the bull market. I understand that it's not the bull market. I mean, if you look at the macros, you understand that we're still very bearish. But, for you, ecosystem player and all of that, where do you see it's on by March 31st, 2023?
March 31st, 2023. That's very close. That's honestly, if you look at other aspects of the ecosystem, I think there are some things that happen right now that cause the spike. So I don't want to be, a wet towel, but I feel like by that much it would dip a little bit, honestly. I don't know, a little bit. I personally feel that the next halving would birth the next bull market, and that's what we're all looking forward, right?
Yeah.
So but for now, these highs and the lows, the dips and the spikes, we're still they're still helpful here and there. But for March, I see because I'm looking at the things that are being built and the release of funds generally to startups across the space, and I'm just thinking that I don't know, first quarter. I hope I'm wrong.
I hope you are wrong. A lot of people will hope that you are wrong. It's okay. Thank you so much for joining the show. So
Thank you. I had so much fun. Thanks for the invite.
thank you. Looking forward to the next talk show. Until then, bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks, Leonard.